And a win from Hydra gives them a lot more safety away from...
Like, it's going to be a very scary lane for Beast and Rubik to play into. So we'll see. I mean, they too have a lot of spam by themselves with Axes and Fade Bolt. Is that going to be enough, though? Because I feel like level 2 from is going to be able to get very aggressive. And if they can get kills, that lane can start to get out of control. That's a lot of your tempo as well for the Beastmaster. Could be able to slow down whatever item he wants. Looks like he's got Helm Dom as well queued up. So bit of a different build this game from the Beast.
Again, I think he's recognizing the strength of the Oracle against what they've got to output. And they don't exactly... Well, I guess they've got the TideHunter, right? To be able to deal with any sort of Helm Dom style. But it's going to mean that Collapse needs to be a little bit more responsive. And maybe they're just backing the Lifestealer to have a really good time against the TideHunter in the laning stage. That he isn't actually this, like, impenetrable wall. All right. I'm not anywhere near as confident as I was in that second game. I hope everyone that wagered the points in Twitch chat is enjoying the fruits of that. I think it was pretty even, actually, like 60-40 in Spirit's favor. But this game, I wouldn't want to, go out on a limb.
Niposhka?
See you later.
Uh-oh. No
Well, that makes the lane a lot easier, for sure. Like, getting that first blood, especially over to Cloud, just looking to give him... What's he got now off the back of this? Just plenty of stats. Regen to be able to play around with. 3 mangoes, Tango and a salve. So he just wants to be spamming out those axes as much as possible. I mean, the big weak point for this lane, for me, is that, like you mentioned, level 2 on Team Spirit, they should be able to get a kill in this lane. And the fact that it won't be a first blood now is going to be a harsh downside for Team Spirit to be able to get that early items up and start to scale on your Toro.
How's bottom lane go, though? Because this is really actually the one question mark I'm not sure. I feel like there's a decent amount of kill threat with Gush and all the right-click damage from Mirror, but then again, like when Lifestealer gets levels, Hyde's not going to feel as strong until the Vanguard.
God, I hate the fact that techies can buy a Wraith Band and you can see why they've done it. It's like, ugh, he just wants to hit more, especially like that's the complete strategy they're going for here. Just ticking out from the blood grenade.
Yeah, no, it's just not okay. It's not okay.
Nope.
Oh my god, why? I don't get it. Because Gush level 1 is so ridiculously strong. Like, we take back to like the tournament. Oh man, I don't even remember. One of the Rhea tournament where we saw like Hoodwink plus Tide a ridiculous amount. Tundra were running it a lot. And we just saw heroes that could play with Gush, right? You've got really good attack animation, really good damage. And now Techies is one of them.
Yeah, he doesn't even need a Blightstone.
Be a thing.
He doesn't even need a Blightstone. He's just got enough attack damage that it just works out, basically, for his techies. And now he's going to be able to, attack even more frequently. He's got that Wraith Band coming out on the courier right now, so wonder if Happy's going to be able to snipe it before it reaches, but looks like the micro was on point from Mirror so that it went around the backside of the hard camp. And, well, good luck.
I want to say some very not okay things at this.
About the techies.
Yeah, it's just, it should not be like this. It's just, yeah.
Well, it happens.
There's words that I would love.
We got to deal with it.
Words that will not be used. We'll avoid them.
All right. I think Gabe and heard Harry's talking about the techies and took him out for a second, so I'll cover things solo for now. Oh no, you're back, damn.
What's going on in the mid lane here with Borik and Lal? 15-6 already for the Queen of Pain, so we were mentioning that she's going to be off to a very good time. Of course, Lal, I don't think it's really going to be able to stop his farm too much. A lot of his early game is going to be off the back of potential stacks inside the jungle, which we saw was a big reason why Warwick was able to have such a good game on the Batrider as well. Not only dominating mid, but also being able to get a crap load of stacks thanks to the support.
The thing is, though, again, it's like, it's about how does your draft work together? I don't think you can look into the, in isolation.
Oh, how's bottom going at least for Kami? I mean, continue to have a pretty good time. There are no real no kills going between the two from what we saw prior, and it looks like top as well with what we were saying. With kind of the spam out from Yatoro and the post. We haven't been able to put too much of that onto Cloud just yet. They...
Can you hear me?
A little over... I can hear you. Hello.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but what I was saying before was Happy's getting a little bit of the business done to him on the bottom side. Has to be a little careful with how deep Mirror goes, though. Although, who's actually one that's going to be dying off the back of this even sort of trade. The thing I was talking about was, you mentioned before the Bat Rider and his potential to be able to take a lot of these stacks. Same sort of thing with the Beastmaster, right? You would have to say that it's probably a little bit easier for... I'm not sure if it's actually easier for Lil, but with the style that you've gone for, with this gush into the techies just right-clicking with the Wraith Band, you basically want to stay in the lane. You want to keep the domination up. You want to keep pressuring this Lifestealer so that he's not getting a ton of this early farm and maybe getting kills onto the Lich. But you know, if you're forced to move away from the lane, it kind of goes away from that style, you know?
Mine.
Yeah, would you like to see Mirror stay around this lane a little bit more than looking to prioritize mid, as Tori and Approach are both very low?
I think it depends on what state the game is at right now. Like,
Toro, hang on a second. Be careful, my friend. They might be able to get the turnaround, though. Bloodbright finds a connection. Super hesitant, though. Lil, look at the posturing out of the Rubik, chasing down the Poshka. Not gonna have the finishing blow, but meanwhile, there's a lot of creeps going under the tower that Yatoro is not able to farm freely. Another round of the spells, and he might be in trouble. Maposha's gonna go for the kill onto Lil. Yatoro needs a finishing blow to be able to get the health back. Unable to get it, though, and in the end, Maposha down. There's no trade. Well, this lane is going much better for Hydra than I expected.
It's just about that comfort, right? Like, Lil is a fantastic Rubik player. Cloud has shown that he's great on the Beastmaster as well. And they're even able to, I mean, off the back of that, inadvertently do the thing I was talking about too, with being able to pull this creep wave right next to the tower. So even though there's a strong Bloodseeker Oracle lane, they're looking to maybe make a rotation towards mid, but Poshka's holding his TP for now. Yeah, he's looking to go behind Warwick here, maybe trying and bait out a blink. Oh, they might be able to get the kill here. Gets rid of the haste rune as well.
Oh, can he TP out? Work? All right.
Oh, so close.
Nice play.
He had the lasso available, just couldn't get in range. Like that play, though, from Poshka. Not instantly reactive TPing back to the lane. Shows that the communication is still there between Team Spirit. Identifying what each other need. So we were talking about before, like, does Collapse need Mirror to stay in this lane, or can he focus a little bit more on, sorry, I'm just looking at Happy, yoinking away one of the Wisdom runes. They're actually going to get both here, and a kill as well. And the Courier.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A Meteor Hammer's coming out on the Courier with a Siege Creep, so Collapse is going to be able to take this tower. All right, things looking good for Team Spirit right now. And Mirror, of course, with that Wraith Band, the freaking Wraith Band, hitting into the tower. I mean, you got to say, if you're able to take this tower and Collapse has this Meteor Hammer and the ability to just shove at these waves, use the Kraken Shell to be able to accelerate the farm off of the neutral camps, it gives space for Mirror to now go and build up some of the stacks for his cause, TideHunter included.
Who's having a pretty good time, you'd say, for Collapse. Top of the net worth indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone inside the mid lane? What do we got? Lasso is out. Oh, there's some revenge. Wow, that's gonna... Well, hang on top lane before we go too much further. Lil, no, not able to... On top, Yatoro gets a much needed kill as well. Some bonus health back, but gonna be... Spirit be very happy with that. A kill into Warwick mid lane. Yatoro, that was a 1v2 as well, top, so... A kill you would not expect for the Bloodseeker.
Absolutely not. And they had to use the blast off and the sticky bomb to be able to secure that kill onto the Queen of Pain. But again, with Lyle having a little bit more difficulties, you're supposed to lose this lane against the Queen of Pain. And, well, Lyle hasn't, basically, off the back of that. Also, I think he's built up... was that a stack he built himself? No, it was the techies that built this stack for Lyle, and it's going to let him get into this Boots of Travel. So now the thing that I really want him to do is go back, refill the bottle, get all of your stats. get this magic wand, and it's only 15 or so seconds until Yataro's got the rupture. So if he's able to make a TP up towards this top side, you can maybe get a kill with this rupture combination. You got to make sure you focus Cloud though. I guess he still has the primal roar on cooldown, but he can make that quick movement. Looks like Lal still just wants to put a bit more pressure onto this bottom side while Collapse does the tower taking.
Yeah.
Wish fulfilled. Dire's top
Tower for tower for now. Have to say that Hydra is the happier one about that, although. Is that the Helm of the Dominator coming out as well? It is.
Yeah.
A little bit of extra tower taking potential for them now been picked up. And they're basically going to be trying to monitor wherever Collapse moves and maybe even bait out some of the movements that this TideHunter's doing, because they really don't have anyone else that's going to be able to stand in front of a tower and protect it against a Helm of the Dominator creep that's going to be buffed up by Inner Beast Aura, that's going to potentially have Lich with the Frost Shield, just protecting it from any sort of right clicks. Observer ward placed down. Try and find a quick pick off. We're just using the Beastmaster Hawk as well for that purpose.
I think did get scouted out though. Hito was on top of Warwick when it blinked in, so that was why Warwick started to deny the ward, but chooses otherwise. So far though, no. I suppose. Oh, Yatoro actually. Jeez, a lot of damage on a Warwick. Not going to be able to get in range though for the Purifying, so for the Fortune's End, so he's able to TP up. Does put the Queen of Pain though back inside the base for a little bit of time, but you do see she's struggling in regards to the net worth. Same with Kami's lifesteal as well, but the one person who isn't is Cloud. This dude is balling out right now. Multiple stacks for him to be able to farm up, so he's going to have a great timing with the Helm of the Overlord.
Yeah, there's no one else that really can look to take these stacks, so you know, you would love to use it to be able to get some of your other cores back into the game, but Quap Lifestealer certainly can't take it anywhere near as fast as you, so I wonder if they're just going to... Where is the safest place for Kami to farm right now? I guess it's top, but they're just giving it to Happy for now, getting him that early level 6. Got a little bit of a XP advantage over the Spirit supports off the back of those two Wisdom runes that they picked up previously, but not going to be enough to deny away the False Promise for very long. Miposhka probably just a couple of creeps away. Be able to get a D ward off as well. That'll get him his level 6.
Dude, Cloud's got a What are the supports doing, man? Are they fattening this dude up or something? It was like a quad stack at the left. Ancients had another, the triangle. He's so rich.
I still am worried though about this TideHunter, you know, and like, you might hit this massive timing, but Anchor Smash is still Anchor Smash, you know, it's going to reduce that damage by 60%.
Nice reaction out of the roll, but it's not going to matter. Instantly, Miposhka purges off the stun just in case they need to lull in with the damage. Warwick, though, wants to try and help out. Hydra going to rotate all the boys as well, so there will be a rebuttal, but they only get the kill on Samira, so still in the end, that invasion, well worthwhile. I'm collapsing. We got the kill mid lane with all the chaos that was going on at the triangle, so really nice plays coming out from Spirit.
Not the most traditional pusher is the TideHunter, but certainly with this build, he's capable of doing it. Just continuing to keep this lane pressured in, open up space for the Bloodseeker to pick up his farm. Of course, we've said it time and time again, but Bloodseeker needs that 20 or so minutes to be able to come online. Probably a little bit less, though, with the amount of space that Collapse has opened up for Yatoro. There's already one component, essentially, towards the BKB for himself. Provide him a whole lot more of the map to be able to play around with. Now Collapse's job is very simple, just continue to stand in front of these towers. They make the jump onto you, we've got the responses. They do actually make a bit of an attempt in onto him, but the Chain Frost doesn't land perfectly.
I was gonna say, did I see the smoke? But no, I think just out of range. See, damn, those odds are heavily favoring Spirit. I mean, it's a 3,000 lead, which is pretty sizable 13 minutes in, but maybe this smoke from Hydra could help out a little bit. It's not going to catch anyone off guard, though. Lol, great awareness from him. We are able to back out of danger, but Poshka's even posturing aggressively just in case. I mean, they're aware that something might be going on, so he's here kind of just acting as a smoke block to keep his cause alive.
Anytime that, you know, there's creeps hitting a tower 13 minutes into the game, a tier 2 tower at that, and no one's farming it. That is just alarm bells being, you know, sounded off. It just means that basically they are making a move, because the MO of Dota is farm to fight and then fight to farm. You know, you just got to go back and forth between the two like a pendulum. And, you know, if they're not farming 14 minutes in, where they don't have the tools to be able to fight properly, then something's up.
It seems like they're even trying to set up on calming down bottom lane. They've even got Utora nearby as well, so there could be that potential rupture play into the lasso. We see Lil's nearby as well, just in case, and even the Lich is starting to move down bottom, so might have a bit of a skirmish breakout. Palmer's gonna start to pop a bit defensively, though. They might just go for the easier kill into Lil instead. And even Rupture utilized, so poor Lil not going to be able to survive through this one, but it's just a Rubik, and that was 3 heroes from Spirit down bottom for a little bit of time. So Cloud is still continuing to ball out. This is about to be the Helm of the Overlord now completed for him. Warwick's even getting a little bit of catch up as well with the Queen of Pain.
So I almost wonder where he's actually going to go once he picks up this Helm of the Overlord, right? Like, do you continue pushing up top? Because, well, they don't actually have a lot of vision there. Is it bottom, just to be able to take away some of these stacks that Tide plus Batrider are looking to farm? Plus open up the potential of taking the Tormentor. I really still feel like, I mean, maybe it's even mid, so that Collapse needs to actually use a TP as opposed to just taking the Twin Gates to be able to move from top to bottom.
I guess, like, they don't really have an ancient farmer besides the Beastmaster, right? Like, Lifesteal, you wouldn't really think of that. Maybe once he gets Deso, he might want to park himself towards top instead of Cloud.
Yeah, I think that's certainly a possibility. I mean, I feel like once he gets the Desolator, that's when you're wanting to push with your Beastmaster as well. You know, successful team fight off of the back of the increased vision, level 2 ulti as well. Helm of the Overlord, take that, either take a tier 2 tower or take Roshan, especially considering that for the next 4 minutes, Roshan's up top, and that's where they've got the vision right now, around the Twin Gate.
Radiant are scared.
Game slowing down in regards to killers, but it's not slowing down in regards to the net worth that's continuing to be built up from Spirit. 5,000 now. Really starting to get to a bit of a scary stage, because we're almost at this time where a fight's going to break out, and goes the way of Die. This could easily be an objective. So what do Hydra need to do to potentially turn around the game that's starting to get a bit out of their reach?
I really think it's just as simple as waiting for that Deso. You know, you get a big buff as well once Lifestealer hits level 12 into the Infest, so it's going to be off the back of, like, Warwick jumping in super deep. Maybe he'll have the time to be able to finish the full Kaya and Sanj, get his level 12 to be able to, you know, just jump in, have the Infest for the extra 800 HP, use the Chain Frost bouncing around while they still... Actually, they're going to go Roche. Okay, feeling like they could do it even without the Desolator finished up, but they would have seen the Lifestealer making his way up towards this top side, so the responses might be starting to come for Team Spirit. Lyle makes his TP in, but they've got vision of it underneath that Observer Ward.
It's scary. If Collapse able to get it set up in a fight, Ravage is always going to be a big issue inside a choke point. With the Observer Ward, though. Any Hawks?
As well. Got to take out this sentry that they've got at the bottom of the area. It was an Observer Ward trade, I suppose, but you always got this Hawk to be able to play around with, and they will see it. Yep, over to the side, and Poshka just sniping it with the Purifying Flames, and as soon as they kill it, they go for that instant smoke, full wrap around, trying to come in from the bottom side. They would love to grab Kami with the lasso available.
You can't lose him to start the fight. They're even going to commit the Ravage to try and secure the kill as Cloud. He goes down, but Lyle's in a lot of trouble as well as Kami's trying to lock onto his target, but a defensive lasso along with the ultimate from Baposhka keeps the Batrider alive, and now Yatoro has a free fight and is going to start to clean up. Happy chased down by the Lotus Pool, and they even get another one as well. 4 members sent to the grave as Spirit. A perfect fight for them, absolutely flawless, and now Roshan is all theirs. This game is starting to get really out of control.
It is, and I mean, again, it's just about the value of knowing when they have vision and when they don't. There's no reason for them to put up any other Observer Wards around that area. They dewatered the one that they had. They got rid of the Hawk that was launched out. It's still on cooldown for quite some time. time. Instant smoke, full wraparound, not into the obvious choke point. It was so close for a turnaround though. I'm pretty sure Lil was hunting for that Ravage and he just slightly misclicked, so he got the Batrider's Flame Break instead. But, you know, if you're popping out of a smoke during the nighttime, that's going to happen. You know, it was sort of like a flick shot attempt at being able to click onto a hero. It just connected onto the wrong one.
Back to top, but still they haven't addressed this ward, so Spirit like, I don't know, we may as well still stick around. Potentially more kills for us to find. Both sides kind of posturing with some extra numbers in the area. See if any fight really does.
Coming out. So there's level 12 as well.
Low. To collapse. Can they get a range throw for the Sinus' gaze? Yeah, oh, they will, but yeah. Like you said, you're not sure, and I don't blame you nor Hydra. They're very hesitant about going for collapse. This is a beefy man. Yeah, dude, all right.
The watermelon.
Dude, he's chuckling. There's a bit of a smirk going on. He's carrying a big blur. I'm sure that mouth moved a little bit. He's having a good time.
Rub Vaseline all over the camera just for a little bit of that manual blur, you know?
Adds the mystique to him.
I mean, with no collapse, it actually becomes a really good fight for Hydra.
There's going to be a war on the opposite side as well, but Lal is just isolated from the boys, but not Miposhka. Just able to get in range, but False Promise does get stolen. Going to be able to keep Cloud alive for the moment. Lasso not going to matter. Instantly gets destroyed as soon as he dies. It's a 1-for-1 over the right side. Yatoro going to get enough life still back with help of the Ravage. Karma's going to try and TP out. He'll be protected with the rage, but it doesn't matter. Yatoro once again cleans up, but the Bloodseeker performance from him has been exceptional. The Ravages to also enable him in back-to-back fights as Spirit once again coming out on top.
You got to say Miposhka's positioning has been pretty on point as well, hasn't it? You know, giving up that early death, not the greatest, but it does mean that you're able to constantly just use this False Promise to be able to save the core that gets gone on first. I like the fact that Hydra went for the jump, right? They saw Collapse playing top. It just so happened that he still had the TP scroll available, so was instantly able to join in. 15 seconds left on the Ravage, and with all of the sustain that they have, just off the back of being a Tidehunter, being a Bloodseeker, with the BKB and the Aegis to be able to play around with, plus the False Promise, just barely anyone died, right? And they were able to get that turnaround off the back of Ravage just coming off cooldown.
Did you see who Cloud roared in that fight?
Would have been the Batrider, I'm assuming. False Promise into afterwards, right?
Well, yeah, okay, that's true. I was just gonna say, I feel like you have to roar the Bloodseeker, but I guess if you do, then there's instantly a response there from a post if they want to purge it off. So, I mean, this is the big thing. We see that the Beastmaster with your potential to play into the Bloodseeker, but Yatoro is just having free fight after free fight. And another thing, like we just saw the comparison between Warwick and Lal. This matchup between Batrider and Queen of Pain is not supposed to go this way, and you are not supposed to have a 4,000 net worth lead.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, doesn't make it easier. Batrider having a haste rune as well to be able to play around with. Doesn't even need to pop the Firefly to be able to go for some of those chases. Even just feeling ballsy enough to be able to go underneath a tower, farm that plus an additional creep wave or two. Might have almost spotted Happy there, but even now taking away some of this farm from the Lifestealer, who's having a rough time getting into that next item after the Desolator. Have a look, he's even going into a BKB, realizing they are a little magic damage oriented right now on Team Spirit, but it's gotten to the point where Hydra is able to do it even without any of that magic.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
This is high ground time? Only a minute left. They're still gonna poke?
It's tempting. I mean, you've got the TideHunter almost level 15, so even more Anchor Smash reduction against the Lifestealer, against the Beastmaster. Whoa, Beastmaster overall creep is kind of rad.
Real quick, do you see the Dire Ward? I've never seen that. Down to the south?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Cliff?
It's a new spot.
Okay. Damn, that's really cool.
Nice little way to protect it up with the high ground, but also provide that outside of the base vision. Maybe that's why Radiant have the advantages. There's no real equivalent one like that for Dire.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So we were both like We were both Hydra enjoyers of the draft. We said that it wasn't too convincing, but we did slightly favor them. What do we feel like are the biggest issues that have gone wrong for them so far through the first 24 minutes?
I really feel like, well, they gave up first blood, right? Right? Am I wrong? I can't remember.
Yeah. I can't remember either. I'm trying to remember in my head now. We had a bit of a chaotic early start.
That's all good. I just really think Team Spirit's decision to go for the techies and the TideHunter style, as they did, really just caught Hydra by surprise, right? You picked this lifestealer to be able to dominate the TideHunter in lane, and it just didn't happen. You know, you got a bunch of those early kills, you started to scale at a faster rate than the TideHunter did, and because of that, he gets a nice early meteor hammer, he opens up the map, and you don't have as much space to be able to farm.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So I guess that lane that we were expecting to go better, and even mid lane as well, like we've already brought up so far, so... Yep. We'll see. Yeah, 14,000 deficit. It's a very rough position to be in at this stage of the game. Still 18% for Hydra, but we were hoping for a couple of mistakes out of Team Spirit. They might be able to take the Tormentor, but the Hydra are nearby. They should know, though. They see the zaps going to the tree line.
I like that attempt. Throwing out the axes like that, just to see if he could snipe the last hit. Yeah, you got to say that mid lane probably should have gone a lot better for Warwick, but I mean, he played a great game 1 and 2. Lyle certainly trying to silence some of the doubters here with this performance that he's got coming out. And I mean, if Warwick gets into his level 15 and he gets the Aghanim Scepter completed, we could see avenues for them to be able to come back into this, right? Like, it just increases your damage output by so much, and even stuff like the Oracle for Fortune's End, dispelling the Quap Dagger is actually just going to end up doing more damage to you, you know? So you've got to be very careful with where exactly you're looking to use it.
That is going to take a lot of time for them to get to that stage. At least you know that Spirit aren't going to go high again unless they get a couple of pickoffs. For them, they need that Aegis to be able to poke. And it's given enough time for Lifestealer to be able to get the BKB. And Cloud's got his own BKB as well. But yeah, like you said, scans on points. So they will be aware of at least something going on.
Pop's just 200 away from the Ags too. So getting a little bit of a timing here. Again, it is still 14k behind, but a little bit counts. Also, not quite yet the maxed out blink. So we were talking about that Bloodseeker counter. It's not until you actually get into the blink for the Quap that you're going to be able to outrange the damage that it does.
Alright. Solar Crest up, collapse, let him siege, let the man go to work. Love hunting as well. They did place that ward though over the Tormentor, so they're well aware that some shenanigans are going on. Of course, got that blink to look to try and find the opening. They might just blindly jump on a Cloud. Let's see if Lyle wants to go for it, but they get a glimpse of his own position. They're going to back on off. I mean, meanwhile, Kami's he's deep inside Spirit's territory. I mean, this is really, this second game, probably the safest position for him to be in with where we see Spirit across the map. So he's continuing to get a decent chunk of gold. It's going to be the Basher for the next item for him.
They're going to go all in on this this next push. Maybe use Kami as bait here. Has to be careful with how deep in he's going. I suppose they can't walk up onto this high ground though. Yep, catches out the smoke attempt. They're going to be able to back off. Instant pings out. Probably realizing that they've got that vision up on the high ground. Mirror. He moved down bottom, so they've got to be very careful to back off as a team on Team Spirit. Don't want to be caught out with one man down. Look to go for this one. They continue to push on forward. Another proximity mine being popped, but yeah, nice little clump up together for Team Spirit, making sure that it's not going to be a disaster for them. It's getting to the point where we kind of want them to buy a gem on Hydra. I mean, a successful team fight, if you're able to kill Maposhka, actually, is given over to Collapse just because he's that much more survivable. Obviously just gets you one for free, but still feels very nice if you're able to claim that one as they're just continuing. This is their second smoke, just hiding underneath it, waiting for a Team Spirit movement, maybe just banking on the fact that they would have timed out the first smoke and maybe made a play of their own.
Look at the discipline from Spirit though. Like, that's still no one shown, and still they are going to continue to play defensively, but they're aware. At least it's giving them time to be able to set up for this Roche.
it's up. And well, the bomb will actually go off when Roche respawns, not when they're actually looking to make a play. And they're the ones that first see it with the Hawk coming through. So now the vision is actually a little bit lacking for Team Spirit.
You start it. What's the call? This is a really tough call to make, and Spirit, they're gonna smoke out. It's been too long since they've seen Hydra.
They just got to get someone to be able to pop this. Like, just try and play on the edges there. Try and play in the trees. Army. This is the third smoke that Hydra have used in a row. Just really banking on having this this extra little bit of vision on the high ground, and all Team Spirit are doing is just shove out the lane, force them to make a bit of a response to that, and then once again they go the full-on wraparound, not coming in the most obvious spot. They don't know this, but the Hawk has gone away as well. If they're able to find, for example, the Lich on the super far back lines, that's going to be a big benefit for them.
Let's see if Hydra read this and start to position over towards the outpost, though, to play with their vision. Yeah, we will see them swing over.
I mean, it's not just the outpost, but the Hawk as well. Moves on forward.
Huge ward.
Make sure that they're dealing with it, yeah.
Early Ranger, this is an opening with it about to go on cooldown. They try and get the jump, the bonus infest health keeps Cloud alive. A good start for Hydra. Cloud did have to pop the BKB though. Cloud's going to try and jump in as well. An aggressive jump at that. Kami now has an opening to start to beat onto him. They're going to be able to turn. It's an early use of the raw to hold Yatoro into place, but it's not going to matter. Yatoro shrugs it off and now looks to turn with the Ravage in combination with Mira's stun. Down goes Kami, and everyone else would join him as well in the afterlife. Spirit, it was looking like a bit of a messy start, but it did not matter. As soon as Yatoro and Collapse got into the midst of it all, they're able to easily clean up, but now they go to the opposite side of the map to look to get Roche as well.
Out to the summer home as he looks to try and run away from them, but there's no running from Team Spirit right now, as even Yatoro gives a little bit of a chuckle as he looks to take him in his own home. I mean, they might be able to get a kill onto Lal. Even gets rid of the invis that they had popped. They already had the dust onto him. Is he going to be able to get a kill off the back of this?
Who's killing who? Is he even out as well? We'll be able to reapply this Shadow Strike. Any boys? Any helpers? A bit too far away. Poshka was running though. He was like, come on, buddy. I got you, but it's a little bit
It feels like they're going for, like, they're banking on Lil to be able to make a big play. Like, he went for the Ravage steal that time around. He was playing far back, so not really in a position to be able to save anyone with a telekinesis. Even just the Fade Bolt as well for that damage reduction. But, you know, Chain Frost, perfect, landed by Happy, but it's still level 1. You know, that's the unfortunate thing, right? It receives such a big damage boost going from level 1 to level 2. Got their Wisdom Rune available on the left side of the map, so if Hydra wanted to pick that one up, maybe that's going to be the little bit extra that they need for the next fight. But, you know, just talking about that potential Ravage Seal Collapse, even in these really high-pressure situations, was able to make sure he instantly casted the Anchor Smash afterwards to ensure that there was no steal and no turnaround.
What do you reckon the probability is up to now to that Roche? Oh, wow. It's not even that. I'm surprised it's
I was
higher
going
than
to
it
say
is.
2%, but
Yeah, 16%.
Honestly,
I think that's crazy, but we shall see. See Spirit going to be able to get the Tormentor. That's another big reason why the tech is incredibly strong. He's actually pretty nutty too, and he's got 171 damage. It's another thing. Not really this game doesn't matter too, but this stage of the game. But just nice to bring up to even continue to
if
try and hopefully put this. Yeah, if for some reason, if the Frog's listening, he wants to put him in the bin. Why has he got 171 damage? But that's okay.
From range. Extreme range. That reactive taser is quite nice going up against the Lich, right? Like, you just cast that onto whoever's just beating in, whoever is having a cast on them. If they try and man fight, let's say the Lifestealer instantly gets that dispel off, and you're suddenly taking a lot of that right-click damage coming through from Yatoro.
Oh, all right. No flush shield now for the high ground defense. He's got a buyback, but an easy one to force out. Lasso's got such a short cooldown as well, up in 30 seconds. Octarine along with the quickening charm.
Mark's kind of in two minds with what to do. He's forced to TP all the way back to base with how quickly it's falling. Doesn't snag the bounty rune in time. They still have the glyph available to be able to protect this tower, and they'll use it at the very last second just to try and keep them out. That jump.
The backline attempt, they're going to be able to get the roar over to Hitoro in combination with the Sonic Wave. It's a lot of damage. They stole Rupture for the second life as well. This could be an opening. Let's see how they're going to be able to utilize it as well. As Hitoro activates the BKB, looking to charge on forward. It doesn't matter about the Rupture. Hitoro still going off all the bleed damage to lifesteal. It's just too much for them to handle. This boy is a beast. Kami's going to try and do whatever he can. It's multiple buybacks coming out from Hydra, but there's just nothing left in the arsenal. Kami's by himself. Hitoro will rip him apart. The G's are dropped in spirit. They'll be able to take this game 3 in quite convincing fashion. 34 minutes in. They're going to continue with their flawless run as well. They will be 4-0 now in the Summer Tour.
And a celebratory ravage at the end by Collapse. Probably the MVP of this game for mine. Yatoro didn't die a single time, but it was really Collapse that kept Kami contained during that very first part. We thought that this might be a really good lane for the lifestealer. They last